Whoop whoop. Let's see, what am I doing here? I am currently experiencing a problem. Minor, major, I have no clue. Or maybe I do. I'm not going to start repeating. I have no clue. I have this part here that I got to work. Part of it is just the standard GUI thingy that I can then open. Oh, it opens on the other. Okay, so problem resolved. I had this problem where the window kept opening on this page, and if I then want to edit anything, it goes to the back, and then I can't reopen a next one. It just stays in the back, and I need to close it, but it just opens on the other screen. So that's on this screen here, like this. Yay. Which I can switch to if I want to now. The main thing here is I have this, so I can open. It still says file. I have to change that to folder. Open folder and save. And now it's going to save folder. Here to open a new, it also opens a new window. I don't know if I need this, but it was added in the template on the instruction website of how to do the GUI thingy. Now I have this one here, of which I already did a video. This is at least I think, yeah, I think this is the file folder. Yeah, this is the structure and the randomization. So the adding of the numbers in front, and then but the problem with this one still is that what it does is it imports the file into the folder, and then it changes the number in front by renaming. It's fast. I don't know if I do this one by one that it's going to be just as fast, but it seems safer to me. And the reason it seems safer to me to do it like one by one is because if this thing is interrupted while they're uploading the files aren't going to contain a number in an import range, which can be problematic when there are errors occurring, and that would mean that I have to. Currently that doesn't really matter, but it would in the long run be problematic. I am currently currently uploading some stuff. I'm going to it's on the other screen right now. I have here. I don't know if these guys are going to be the ones that I want to do anything with. These are not the droids that I'm looking for, but I'm going to take a screenshot. No, I am migrating everything from my OneDrive to my network, but my other computer is not working as it is supposed to work. I am also, yeah, okay. So I put my drive in here, which is going to contain backup before OneDrive, renders, yeah. I have, which one is it again? Collect, I assume. Currently, yeah. There's like, I need a system so I can open. Some of these I don't need. These, like, I think these are ones that I've already migrated or added into a different folder, into the folder that I need it to be in, which is the finished folder. This is the collect folder. Why are the finished ones already here? Or are these not finished yet? It's very likely that these aren't finished ones. These are Eevee renders probably, but they now look. I think they are Eevee render. Yeah, okay. There's just a camera. There's no data about. I haven't named them, and I also need to auto name. That's why. Which is why I'm making the video. It's like these. I need to be able to have a program that can pull the specific folders that I pick. And the ones that I pick, I need to open in an iterative way, go through the different subfolders, pull the cameras or the files here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull these files and I'm going to rename them according to the folder that they're in, and the longer down they go from the point where I started, I'm going to add the name of the directory or the folder structure that they're in plus the one from which we started. So this would be, for example, I would pull this camera 1 file here, and I would then name it, in all likelihood I would start here. The collect one is the main file from which I need to pull several different files. But what it would do is then it would pull the alien on the block. Like for example here, I would go here, click to open the folder, pick alien on the block, and then probably it should open a next one that I could pick. This is for now. I'm mainly have to do this part because I am experiencing a problem with the fact that I, saved these in a folder that where I, like I said, I already used like these guys and these guys. Maybe I should just pull them, but it would be, or maybe what I should do is open it. It's a note. Maybe I should make in my, I think I have one here. I should quantum blender add-ons story to read idea coding, social auto poster, no ideas, words. I don't know if I'm going to find it here currently. Fantasy ideas, robotics, mechanica, agenda, URLs, to do, pull okay, I have my to-do list is what I need. So I need to like pull files from subfolders, rename as folders, copy to new folder plus original name, which is what I just said, start naming from start folder, if animation put in different folders. So I also need to when it says animation, I need to put them in a different folder because the animation ones are like long lists of like self-similar images that are just iterative and they're inside the thing, because I'm, I am currently, the problem with Blender I have right now is like I can't, there's some things I probably should also with like Blender like make some sort of a script that can automatically, once I've picked a folder, that it then automatically can create a folder inside the folder that I've picked where I need to output that if I am rendering an animation, that it then what it's going to do is splits that up and have a separate folders for example, EV and cycles, and maybe I can just integrate it in Blender altogether. But like for now, I am what I'm going to do is yeah, what I would just set here, and I need to make sure that if I which this is going to be a separate program, which is going to be highly based on my output from Blender. I don't know if I should or can. I probably could integrate this into Blender as a thing, but like having it as a separate program might also be beneficial, because then I don't have to have it open in Blender altogether. Why did my screen entirely disappear right now on me? Please stop. Not my intention. Back to this guy. Oh no, did I don't know if I closed this one and this one is like, yeah, that's what happened. Where is it? That's what I was talking about. That's like annoying. I think my screen is I need to switch to 8K or have some other thing. I don't like that I can't pull these out into a separate thing without, I think when I found some way to do it, but it's some memory thing that it then creates a separate thing that uses a bunch of RAM. That's like not what I want it to be doing in the first place. Even though it doesn't matter right now. My computer is currently only registering 32 gigs of the RAM that I have, which is 64. I'm going to close this one. There's going to open a new one, I guess. Did I not play? Oh, there was a new one already. What I want to do is what I was stating here. Damn it, Windows. Advanced Blender cohesive narrative randomization, procedural auto feed through. Yeah, so what I'm going to do next is like I'm going to have all of these have words associated with them, and then train a neural net to make the associations between all of the words and stuff, and like and have it try to, it doesn't at the first place, first moment it doesn't really have to be cohesive, but that it can like make things flow into one another, and then I can put that on music videos. So then it's something artistically and something that doesn't need to make sense, but then over time I'm going to add stuff like narrative and words and just AI synthesized music and just AI synthesized like I can type in words or a book or whatever, and that it can like kind of sort of cohesive. It will evolve over time. But what I'm currently trying to do, what I was talking here about, is have that program, which I can execute here. This guy, have it as a statement that I was going to make, that I was going to write down here, is that it make folder structure where I can discriminate from certain folders. I think that's probably, I think it's going to be a separate function. I don't think I can already do that. It prints the files that I have, the folders that I have selected. Let's see. No, I can only select one folder, which is something again that I need to change. So it needs to have, which I'm going to write here, make folder structure where I can discriminate from certain folders. meaning also ability to select, maybe like from different folders, question mark. That's what I'm going to do here. This is the thingy, and then what is next? Then again, what I was saying here, it needs to be able, is going to need to be able to do what I do with this program, but it's going to iterate away from it. So it's basically going to cut. I'm using this one as like a way to like cut and resize stuff. I don't think I'm going to fully, I don't need to, you know, this is a fine software. I don't need to implement all its features and make a copy of this guy, which is not my intention at all. It's not what I'm going to be doing. But it misses features, like it doesn't have what I'm doing here already. It doesn't, well, yeah, okay, no, it does have this, but like not this part. It can't have that part because it's not geared towards using it as a Blender thingy. And it's also, it doesn't have everything. I need to have more control over the software that I'm using. And so this is lacking, this here is lacking what I need in this regard. This guy right here. Whoa, okay, enough playing. God damn it. I don't know if this is clear. I don't know. I'm going to, maybe I should explain what I did here. Here there's like the, I used the Tkinter. There was like, well, auto GUI is for using other software, so that didn't work. There was this like simple GUI, but that didn't work either. And I finally got this to work. For some reason, there's sometimes stuff doesn't work the way it works on the websites because they change things. Like this used to be apparently the Tkinter where the K was a capital. I think the K was a capital. And then it didn't work at all, and then the module wouldn't load, and so there's like, so I had to clean this up, and finally got to like, yeah, like, or like you can see it here, the T. It works here. Here the TK, which is for the Tkinter one, has a capital. It still has the capital. It just changed on the module thingy, so it stopped and failed to work in its entirety. I changed some things up. I made it a little bigger and stuff like that. It's like a very trivial. Currently I added that button to open the folder, and then I'm going to go to implementing this part that I already explained last time. But therefore, this needs to become a lot different. I don't know if I can zoom in into my. Can I zoom into code? I have no clue. I'll look it up for like 1 second without me just. Visual Studio Code font enlarge. Control or Command and then plus. Okay, I can. Oh. Great. So this is maybe a little bit more visible, because if you're not using 4K, this might be very tiny. as you can see here. So what is going to happen is I am going to have that input folder, which is going to be the file or the folder that I'm going to have here. And then what it's going to do is make a new directory, which I'm going to also have to specify, which is also something that is going to have to be something that I am pulling from where I want it to be, because doing it like this is like, it's going to be an enormous amount of time that I'm going to have to waste in order to make that work by continually like, and then I have to know where I likely should know where everything is going to be, but especially if this becomes very large, it's going to be problematic. And once again, here we go. Thank you for dropping into the background. I'm going to keep you off screen then for now. I'll switch to the other screen if I need it. OS change directory, so it's going to have to pull the files that are in the folders. It's going to have to then do it also as well, which I was trying some stuff out here already from incremental file change. This is not going to work at all. I thought I had something. Glob function, yeah, I think it was the glob thingy that if I open this and what is going to happen? I don't see anything happen. Why is nothing happening? List of files, glob D OneDrive. This used to work. Outline, Maven, not in terminal, not in output, nothing is happening. No idea why nothing is happening. Let me think for 1 second. This might not be the one that it should be working. List of files is glob glob. D1 recursive is true. I don't get any sort of. There was something here with the tech. And then tech. This was also something that worked. The terminal is not giving me any sort of anything. This is the test though, so maybe if I file recent, what's that one called? Glob function, send repeater, screen capture, screenshot. Batch rename, automatic content generator, open file. Date, glob function test, automatic content generator, screenshot, pull and rename in folder according to folder structure. In all likelihood, you are going to contain path base name root for root. Director files os.walk. Did you? Nothing is happening as of currently. I don't even know if it should. I don't want to execute this one. This might do something really bad, I think, maybe, which I have to then check. I don't believe I still have that on the drive. Email HDRI. OneDrive renders. I don't even think I have renders anymore. Yeah, no, I do have renders, and the reason I have renders is because there are these two that if I try to remove them, which is the output from this guy, yes, is it going to? Oh, okay, it does it. Okay, collect. Is it still here? I have this guy on my drive now. I have removed this folder several times. It keeps popping up. So this might not work currently. I don't think it would hurt if I tried to make it to execute this guy. And again, it's not doing anything. Maybe I should. Input folder. Renders. But the problem is if I use renders currently, it's going to, I need to make a new folder, which is going to be training data. This is off screen for a second. Now I'm going to look on my drive and notice it is not good when I'm tapering off. I likely taper off like in verbally, that I'm not fully engaged, because I am not speaking from a full knowing. Currently OneDrive backup, before swipe, renders, collect. I have the collect one. Okay. I made this one and it it should make the directory and stuff. I might have to just reopen Visual Studio. Oh, I know why it wasn't doing what it was doing. The other window, the thingy was open. Yes, okay. So if this is still running, it likely doesn't make or do what it's supposed to do, because the other Python file is still running. Is that the case? Then how do I execute multiple from somewhere else? Okay, good to note. So likely this is going to do what is... Yeah, as you can see here now, this is pulling from my OneDrive. I added these two asterisks, which means that it's basically doing every last bit of it. But if you can see, if I just do this guy and I save, it's going to pull this short list. I might want to kill, can I, yeah, this is like the shorter list here, just the OneDrive list. Pull and rename in new, okay. Yeah, it was, I opened this one last time, so this is why it wasn't working, because it was still open, and once it's open, it's not going to be capable of. Okay, now I'm going to test the one out that I made previously in the previous video. I will OneDrive. Where's renders? Renders, yes, okay, renders. Training data is in here. This is going to make, okay. renders outputs. What kind of error did it give me? File D OneDrive pipeline 82. No 82 to be seen. Non-type object attributes TK. I think. Do I need to like Control C? Line 14 in module. Make directory renders. Oh, okay. Oh, yes. Yes. Look at that. God. Oh. So there's currently like this. Let's see. It did make it, so I think it's likely and why is collect still here again? Like, okay, this is happening off screen. This is what I find so annoying about this whole thing, right? This is like, I can't add this as a regular thing, and then I have to do it like this, and then I have to pull it here, and now nothing is readable anymore, so I can't like have this thing open in front, which is, I might script that myself so it can like keep this thing open in the front at all times. God. Windows. Probably Mac doesn't do that either, but like this is annoying as hell. It make it here though, but it doesn't allow me to remove it because it says that I can't remove it because I need the permission from my own computer in the user that I'm currently using. And this is what happens with OneDrive all the time, like every single time. And the worst part is if I'm very likely, I think I am 100% positive. If I now go to my other computer, go to OneDrive, renders output 711, delete, yes, and now it is removed. Why does it remove it now from the other one, but I can't? I know why it does that. It does that because it is uploading the file to my the folder to the and the files to the other computer, and because it's in this process of like uploading, it's like, no, you can't remove it, which is annoying. Again, but it does what it does still do what it's supposed to do, it seems, for now. But once again, yes, okay. So I did it again. Now it's back here, still executing. It makes this folder, and then this stuff is in here, which is just the stuff that I had here as a test. So what it does here is it pulls like training data, the training data folder in the renders folder, as I said before in the previous video or videos. I don't think I gave a full explanation. So what it does here is then it makes a directory with the strt. I don't know why I changed it to 711. It used to be the time date time t equals time. Let's see, does it? I don't think that's how the time module works, if I'm correct. Time module create time string. I think if I want to, because I want to have it iterate for now, so which is going to do it then, like string time. Does that work? I don't think it's going to work. What were you again? Sleep time. Okay, time. It has to be like this. Time. I can't remember that it was like that, but t time type error. Module object is not a callable. Import time. Okay, so t equals time. Dot clock. Get time. It doesn't get the time. Time. Do I need to give a value here? Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. Oh, I need to save as well. Currently not doing. Dot. Import time. GM time. 0 is what it says on the website here right now. I also might just, it has a random function here somewhere, random dot rand range. I'll do it like this for now. I didn't save. It did do something. Yes. Okay, so once again, now I have output and a random number, which is what I want. I want to make as much randomness as possible, but controlled randomness. So fractalized, controlled randomness, finding patterns in self-generated randomized data, kind of like quantum physics, probability theory, making things probable, probably doing some quantum coding in the future, but not for now. And so here we have it. So it makes a directory with t, which is a random number, and then the output folder is os.change directory. So it then changes the directory to the output folder, which is, this is just what it's going to be pulling when it's executing the code here. And then out is OS path base name, output renders output. So this is all going to have to be, like this is all like really redundant. This I might have just made like the input folder and then like a name for the input folder, and then to make it a lot shorter, and then what I'll have to do here is have this guy be the value of whatever I make it have in the window that it opens. You know, I'm repeating myself at this point, but it's going to be like that. OS change directory, so here it changes the directory. OS get out or make directory. Some of this stuff probably doesn't make any sense and is redundant because I was trying stuff out here, but I'll have to clean that up. F equals open string out, which out is the base name, os.path base name. Okay, so it triggers the out one, then it writes. So this is what you'll have if I, here it is writing a file, which is this one, test. So the test.txt, it does the out one. It names it after the output folder, which is again what I was saying here. I need to name my files after the output folder that it comes from, but it needs to also do it from like every single output directory, and then rename it into this type name thing, and then close it again, a new folder, then copy it over to the other one. And then this is the part where I'm kind of iffy, because it then ends up new folder, so it changes the directory, and it changes the directory to the one over here. But then what it does is it has moved it to this directory, but it only renames the file or the files that are in there after they've been copied into, so it here it like pulls then the list of the files in there. I don't want, that's like probably not the biggest issue in the world, but again, like I said in the beginning, the problem might be here that it fails, and because it fails, there's like this problem then that all the files might not be renamed, while if I do them one by one, even if it fails, I've already scrambled them and added them into this new folder, and then I don't need to remove all those files, and I can just like find a way to like make sure that there's no doubles, that the doubles get like not removed to the new folder, stuff like that. I think that I'm going to leave it here for now. I don't know what I'm going to call this one. Probably like making GUI and explaining the process or something like that. But okay, this is fantastic, great, amazing.